Hi, this is Rob Basso, CEO of Associated Human Capital Management, and you're listening to Kizzy's Friday Game Changers.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
The world famous Game Changers Show. Game Changers Show. Game Changers Show.
Kizzy's Friday Game Changers, taking your business to the next level.
I'm Brian Stolley, founding partner of Wildcat Venture Partners.
Hey, Tanja Lee here, all the way from Melbourne, Australia. I'm a leadership and mindset specialist for real estate and property professionals.
Hi, I'm Jonathan from Amplify.
Hi, I'm Johnny Combe, CEO of Pay by Phone UK.
I'm Kenneth Hafianyo, the founder of Jogwefa, an ethical fashion brand based in Ho, Volta region, Ghana. My Friday is never the same without Kizzy's Friday Game Changers.
Thanks for joining us for this week's Friday Game Changer show. I tell you what, I am so excited at what we're doing this week that I can't speak. In fact, I'm not going to say anything. What? I've got to say something? Okay, well, look, I've got to tell you that this week sees the launch of our search for the businessman or woman who knows more about music than anyone else in the world. Yep, we're finally launching our BossStar Music Challenge. Over the coming weeks, we're going to be shining a huge spotlight on business leaders from all over the world and testing their musical knowledge. And in June 2021, we'll be crowning our pop music quiz champion, who will be featured in Business Game Changer magazine, as well as being interviewed right here on Kizzy's Friday Game Changers. In the spotlight this week is Ian Hurst, founder of mental health and suicide prevention non-profit We Are Hummingbird. If you think you've got what it takes to sit in the hot seat, email wearegamechangers@outlook.com. That address one more time is wearegamechangers@outlook.com. Drop us a line and introduce yourself. Also on this week's show, we've got powerful and practical business advice from our Game Changer Elite. The Elite this week are Rachel Horton, MD at Business Moves Group, and Vanessa Gianos, CEO of the HR Experts. We've also got a fantastic elevator pitch from Callum Coons, CEO of SafePoint. This is what Fridays were meant for. Listen, learn, and innovate.
Hello, I'm Rachel Houghton, Managing Director of Business Moves Group. We are a national UK company supporting some of the world's leading organisations with their relocation and change management needs. I've been with Business Moves for over 20 years. Initially, I started as a very junior telesalesperson, then progressively moved into more senior roles until 12 years ago when I took over as the Managing Director. It's been a really exciting and challenging journey, and I believe that I've continued to grow as a leader throughout this time. During my tenure as Managing Director, I've now been through two major crises. There was the banking crash in 2008-2009, and of course more recently the global pandemic that we are now facing. True leaders need to be agile thinkers. They need to be wise enough to acknowledge when one of their decisions doesn't work out as planned, and be prepared to adapt their line of thinking as more facts emerge and as situations change. Decisions need to be made with integrity, and they need to encompass both the immediate issues and the wider knock-on effects that those decisions have. If you want to be a leader, you have to be a visionary, you have to be transformational. But that alone is not enough. You have to trust in your team, and you have to be able to communicate with your team. Ensure that they understand what your vision is, and trust that the people you employ to do these roles can do them so much better than you. You need a team that can deliver your vision and who are brave enough to challenge, to expand, to share with you their thoughts on how it can be best be achieved. Successful leaders are not afraid to open themselves up or to be challenged. They actively seek constructive advice and new ideas. Most importantly, great leaders are comfortable in their own skin, and they take their team on a journey with them, a a journey that's filled with trust. Decision making is a really big part of being an effective leader, and to do that you need to possess certain characteristics. The first of those is bravery, especially in a crisis. You have to be brave enough to acknowledge that the decisions you are making may not ultimately be the right ones, and that takes guts. The second is about balance, specifically having a balanced approach and applying logic and reason to every decision you make, especially that when those decisions affect others. You need to assess, to the best of your ability, what impacts they will have on you, on your business, on your reputation, on every person you employ, and their wider families. Natural leaders do tend to be quite decisive people, but it is so important to scrutinise the why. And remember, it's okay to ask for an outsider's opinion. Decision making can be a really lonely place, and it's not a weakness to ask for support and guidance. And it's not going to be perceived as a weakness by your teams to know that you have sought counsel. If anything, it may even give them reassurance that you are doing absolutely everything you can to be as robust as possible. The worst thing you can do as a leader when you don't have all the answers is to make them up. The second worst thing you can do as a leader is to not communicate and just leave people wondering what the hell is going on. So seek support, share your concerns, make decisions and communicate them well. It really is important to be yourself in business and to surround yourself with people you trust, people you respect, and most of all, be that person. Be a person that is trusted and respected. As a younger leader, I presented myself with authority and didn't show the authentic side of who I was. And as I've grown in confidence in myself, my team has grown in its resilience and in their selves. I have amazing support both within the team. My chairman, Simon Darville, is a fantastic mentor. My leadership team are great, challenging, confident people who I trust. And I have a few external mentors who I'd just like to give a shout out to. Graham Ballantyne from UK Mentoring, a huge supporter of the business, and to Joe Sutherland at Magenta, my biggest cheerleader.
This week's incredibly talented entrepreneur, this week's BossStar, is Suzanne Noble from the UK. During the day, Suzanne runs Advantages of Age, a social enterprise which helps over 50s discover new pathways to employment. At night, however, everything changes. Suzanne transforms into one of the most talented singers we've ever showcased on Kizzy's Friday Game Changers. Suzanne sings dirty blues and jazz from the 20s and 30s, and boy, does she sing it well. Here she is, Suzanne Noble, performing My Handyman.
Whoever said a good man was hard to find, absolutely, positively, sure was blind. I've got the best that ever was. Here's just some of the things he does. He shakes my ashes, greases my griddle, churns my butter, strokes my fiddle. My man is such a handy man. He threads my needle, creams my wheat, heats my heater, he chops my meat. My man is such a handy man. Don't care if you believe or not, He sure is good to have around. When my furnace gets too hot, he's right there to cool my temper down. For everything, he's got a scheme. You ought to see the new starter he puts on my machine. My man is such a handy man. He flaps my flapjacks, cleans off the table. He feeds the horses in my stable. Ooh, you can't get away from it. He's such a handy man. He really is God's gift, you know. Sometimes he's up long before dawn, busy trimming the rough edges of my lawn. Oh, you gotta love it. He's such a handy man. Never has a single thing to say when he's working hard. You really ought to see the way he handles my front yard. My ice doesn't get a chance to melt away. He sees that I get a fresh piece each and every day.
Kizzy's Friday Game Changers, taking your business to the next level.
Welcome to BossStar Music Challenge Quiz, brought to you by Kizzy's Friday Game Changers. Thank you for joining us for the BossStar Music Challenge Quiz. Over the coming months until June 2021, we're searching the entire world to find the business leaders who know more about music than anyone else. The competition's tough, the questions can be tricky, but the challenge is more than worthwhile. In 2021, Business Game Changer magazine and Kizzy's Friday Game Changers will be crowning our pop music quiz champion, who will be, it says glorified here. How do you glorify somebody? Who will be glorified in Business Game Changer magazine, as well as being interviewed right here on Kizzy's Friday Game Changers. This week we have in the hot seat Ian Hers, one of the co-founders of Hummingbird. Ian, it's amazing to have you join me.
Hi, yeah, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Tell us a bit more about Hummingbird. What is it that you do over there?
Yeah, well, we are Hummingbird, and the we are is important. It's because we're a community, and we're a community of music lovers that have come together to help reduce the stigma and discrimination around mental health and mental health awareness in this country. We use music as our platform. We know that music has the ability and power to shift through all kind of time zones and relationships and engages people in so many wonderful, beautiful ways. So yeah, we do a lot of stuff with music and promote positive mental health.
Fantastic. And so it sounds as though because you're immersed in music, you should, in theory, know absolutely everything there is to know about music.
Absolutely everything.
I love it. This is it. Okay. Well, you're going to set the highest standard possible for our future competitors. So let's make life as difficult as possible for them.
Oh, okay. Let's.
Oh, okay. Well, look, thanks for joining us for the quiz. We're going to be doing a quick question and answer session. The rules are really simple. We're going to ask you as many questions as we can cram into 5 minutes. Now, we have to take your first answer. And if you're not entirely sure what the answer is, just say pass and we'll move on to the next question. Does any of that make any sense whatsoever?
All of it. I get it. It makes sense. I'm ready to go.
Brilliant. Okay. All right. Okay. 5 minutes, quiz master challenge, and with the clock starts ticking now. Question number 1. Ian, what year was Live Aid. Now, you remember Live Aid? What year was it broadcast? Was it 1982, 1985, or 1986?
1985.
Okay. Question number 2. Who sang the 1984 hit All Cried Out?
Pass.
You remember that song, don't you? All Cried Out?
No.
Nope.
Too young. Too young.
That's like pleading the fifth. I'm too young. Okay. Let's move on to question number 3. Question number 3. Which popular AC/DC album was the first to feature its new vocalist, Brian Johnson? Now, if you know AC/DC, their album, which featured Brian Johnson for the first time, it's actually got quite a famous title as well. What album was it? Can you remember?
Back in Black.
Fantastic. Absolutely right.
Oh,
Back in Black indeed. Number 4. Who sang the title track of 80s Bond film, The Living Daylights? Now, you remember the film, The Living Daylights? Who sang the song associated with that film?
Shirley Bassey.
It could have been, it should have been, but in fact, it was Aha. Do you remember Aha?
Oh no, Aha, take on me. Why couldn't I have that question?
You're doing very well. Just have to take a deep breath, put your feet up, relax, because we're moving on to question number 5. In which iconic music video do Queen parody Coronation Street? Now, was it I Want to Break Free? Remember that song?
It was I Want to Break Free.
Yep, absolutely. You knew that straight away, didn't you?
I knew that, yeah. Can we have more like that, please?
Okay, coming right up. Question number 6, here we are. Now, associated with Rick Rolling, which 1987 Rick Astley song became number 1 in 25 countries? What song would you associate with Rick Astley?
Never Gonna Give You Up.
Absolutely. Oh my word, we're cooking on gas here.
We've warmed up now.
This is it. Well, this is going to get so much better. Okay, we've done 6 questions. You've got 4 right so far. So we'll move on to question number 7. Which single gave Whitney Houston her first UK number 1 in 1985?
It's from the film Bodyguard. But was it called Body? I'm singing now.
Go on and sing it then.
I've got to sing it through. It's not called Bodyguard, is it? I think
it was. Yeah, I think it was.
Are we giving me that? Is it called Bodyguard? The film's Bodyguard. Whitney Houston's song Bodyguard?
Yeah. Which single gave Whitney Houston her first UK number 1 in 1985? Was it in Bodyguard? I don't know, actually.
No, maybe not then.
No. What? Yeah.
I
can sing it.
I don't know then.
Do you want me to hum it for you?
Yeah, go, hum it.
Da 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 do. That's it.
No, pass. I can't get it.
What?
Pass.
After all that, it's Gordon.
I just wanted you to hum.
Okay, never mind. Let's put that behind us. Question number 8. What was the best-selling single of the decade in the UK? Which single was the best-selling single of the decade in the 1980s? One song.
Gosh. That was, I want to say Bryan Adams, but was it Bryan Adams from Robin Hood? And it was...
Come on, the best-selling single of the decade in the UK of the 80s. Can I just say, just to give you a slight hint, there were a lot of people singing it.
Was it Band-Aid? Band-Aid, Do They Know It's Christmas was on. A lot of people singing.
Bingo!
Yeah?
Bingo!
Well, that's a good hint, that. Good tip. I like that.
Well, that was it. And guess what, Ian? We have hit 5 minutes on the button.
Oh, that was quite tough.
Mate, you did so well. You did really, really well.
What was the score at the end?
Well, we got to 8 questions. Can you imagine 8 questions in 5 minutes? And of 8, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 right out of 8.
Okay, so we didn't get Whitney Houston right. We didn't get, what was the other one? Band-Aid, is that right?
You passed on who sang the 1984 All Cried Out. Yeah. I'm really surprised. Who do you think it would have been?
Okay. I can't even think. All Cried Out.
She used to be in a group called Yazoo.
Lisa. No, I don't know. Go. Who was it?
Alison
Moyet.
That's it. It was Alison Moyet. All Cried Out.
Man, no, that's annoying. Oh well. There we go. I'll take my 5.
Okay, and question number 4. Who sang the title track of the 80s Bond film, The Living Daylights? Yeah. It was, in fact, Aha.
Yeah, Aha, yeah.
And you passed on question number 7.
The Whitney Houston one.
I thought you would have nailed it because of my excellent humming abilities.
Yeah, what was it?
Well, da 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 da. Which single gave Whitney Houston her first UK number 1 in 1985? There are now literally hundreds and thousands of people listening to this podcast and screaming at the speakers, saving all my love.
Sending all my love to you. Yeah. Yeah, all right. Well, I'll take my 5. There we go. I'll catch that 5. 5 in 5 minutes.
You know, if it hadn't been for the dodgy humming, you might have gotten 6.
It's amazing what you forget and what you get right, isn't it? But there we go. 5. I'll take 5 out of 8. There we go.
You did brilliantly well. Listen, before we go, I just wanted to ask you, is there anybody at all who may be listening to this podcast that you'd like to say a big hello to?
Oh, definitely. I've got to say a big hello to my 2 partners, John and Carl at We Are Hummingbird. It takes all 3 of us to do what we do. So, big hello to those boys.
You've done it. Fantastic. That's Ian Hurst, co-founder of Hummingbird. Ian, you've been a fantastic contestant. Please tune in next week. We're going to be having more competitors, but I suspect that no one's going to be able to excel and achieve more than you have today on our Friday Game Changer Music Quiz. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Number 1 means you're always on top. You're on to number 1.
Hi, this is Ray Zen. Hi, I'm Jamie Martin from Ideal Shopping Direct.
I'm Kate Bell, founder of Zip Us In.
Hi, my name is Eirik Eide Patterson. I'm a co-founder of Seaborg Technologies.
Hi, I'm Katie Farrell, transformation coach, founder of The Catalyst for Life.
Hey everybody, I'm David Frangioni, CEO and co-founder of All Access IDA, Inspire and Develop Artists, and you're listening to Kizzy's Friday Game Changer. Check it out.
Kizzy's Friday Game Changers Elevator Pitch of the Week.
Please stand back from the closing doors. Please select a level. Going up.
Hi, I'm Callum and I'm the CEO of SafePoint. We're a tech business and we're modernising the incredibly dated world of staff safety. Imagine you're an engineer, an estate agent or a social care worker. Something goes wrong, you get attacked by a client or trapped under machinery. Who knows you're in trouble? Who knows where you are? Who's coming to help? The alarming fact is, for the majority of businesses, the answer is nobody. SafePoint is an award-winning platform that solves this problem, allowing businesses to easily ensure the safety of their employees. Simply download the SafePoint app and you instantly have 24/7 protection provided by our team of highly trained guardians, ready to respond if something goes wrong.
Top floor. Good luck.
You're listening to Kizzy's Friday Game Changers, the world's #1 business podcast experience. Listen, learn and innovate.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Gianna, CEO of HR Experts International. We are one of Australia's leading HR consultancies, offering highly pragmatic, customised and leveraged HR consulting, coaching and training solutions. And we work with funded startups, SMEs and all the way through to global multinational organisations. And we love working with motivated and passionate business owners, executive leaders and professionals. across Australia, New Zealand, Asia, the UK, US and beyond. And we have achieved outstanding results working with our clients who wanted to transform, scale or grow their business, develop their leadership capability, improve their culture, their employee engagement, their customer satisfaction, their performance, their bottom line, or even then take their next level career step. And today I'm going to focus on change leadership. So now firstly, it's important to distinguish between change management and change leadership. Change management is about the process of managing a change project. So it's about moving the organisation as effectively and as efficiently as possible from current state to a desired future state. And that can include many types of change: culture change, system implementation changes, process changes, structure changes, merger and acquisitions, and so on. And many of us have been subject to change management. And it's interesting that still 70% of change management programs fail to achieve what they set out to achieve. And there's a number of reasons for that, but the key reason is that most do not focus on being people-centric, and most do not ensure strong change leadership. And so then what is change leadership, you might ask? Well, that is actually leading the change. So it doesn't help that around the globe we have very few effective, conscious and adaptive leaders. And in fact, research evidence shows that it's about 10% of it leaders. So that's because adaptive leadership actually is really hard to achieve, and requires a great deal of personal development. I've done other podcasts on adaptive leadership, becoming an agile business, and introducing agile performance management. So check those out. So you're probably wondering then, what is change leadership? So change leadership is a higher level of leadership competence, and it's one for me that is becoming more and more critical for all leaders. And it's the first stage of becoming an adaptive leader. And at the HR Experts International, we're so passionate about creating more adaptive leaders. We actually have a BHAG of helping create 5,000 more conscious, more adaptive leaders. And so we've trademarked a 12C process. And our 12Cs are all interrelated, and they're required to ensure effective change leadership. But effective change leadership is about you as a leader. And if you want to hear more about these, stay tuned or get in contact with us. So, because there's 12, I can't talk too much about all of them, but I'll give you a little bit of an overview. The first and the foundational one is creating trust. So creating trust sounds easy, right? Well, not so much. Again, research shows, and we've done hundreds of employee engagement surveys and 360 leadership reports. And so we can tell you, along with the research, that trust is still very low in organisations. Now, why is that? It's mainly because we don't have authentic, conscious leaders. And so that is our passion. Second is captivate. In order to make change possible, we have to captivate everybody's hearts and minds. And again, that's just not easy. And there's particular techniques and particular ways of beings that involve people and into being more captivated. And captivation is related to the next two very closely, and that is being complexity and clarity, in particular clarity. It is increasingly common when I'm going into organisations or when our consultants are going into organisations to find leadership confusing complicated with complex. Complex problems require a higher level of thinking and adaptive leadership. Complicated just means you've done too much stuff and it's overdone and it's just a mess. And so making clear what's complicated and what's complex, and then providing the deep levels of clarity that are required for employees around those complexities, around company vision, goals, strategies and mission. The next is culture, and of course everybody needs a great culture, and the right culture is actually a bilateral relationship with any leader, and in particular a great culture for change is required, and that is developed by great change leaders and effective change leadership. Coaching, again, these days I would strongly suggest that all leaders need to develop strong coaching skills, and it's never more important than in change situations. Cadence and communication is also important and so often gotten wrong in organisations. And so getting the right level of cadence is really important. But as I tell every leader I've ever worked with in the last 30 years, I have never had to say to a leader, you know what, I think you might actually be over-communicating here. I've never said it. I'd love to say it, but I've never said it. So don't underestimate the level of communication required to achieve all these C's, and in particular have effective change management and change leadership. Collaboration, of course, is important, and everybody needs to collaborate when it comes to change. Conscious leadership, we have whole programs on conscious leadership. So this is really about becoming deeply self-aware and emotionally intelligent. Capability, this is about building everyone's capability in the business, but also the business capability. Catering to different styles, and we love using DISC. I've been using DISC now for over 25 years, and I love it. I've trained thousands of leaders and employees, and the best thing about DISC for me is that it increases everyone's self-awareness, and it provides them with a level of awareness and capacity to be able to collaborate and cater to other styles. And the final one is creativity. You cannot innovate and you cannot change without a level of creativity. So I'm wondering, how change ready are you? And are you up to that challenge of becoming an amazing change leader? And I'd love to shout out to some of our amazing change leaders that we're working with at the minute, and there's a few of them, so I'll get through them quickly. Emma, Erin, Danny, Paul, Carol, Tim, Rose, Vera, Liz, Karen, Steve, John, Cheryl, Katrina, Pete, Charles and Mandy. And we have so many more clients, and I will give you a shout out another time. So thanks. I hope you found this useful. We love working with leaders on this stuff and businesses, and we do it so very often. And if you want to know more about how to develop change leadership or change management, then get in contact with us on info@hr-experts.com. without the E, hr-experts.com, or call us on 1300 795 106.
Number one means you're always on top. You're on the number one.